Today we want to talk about something you have certainly never heard before. It is about how we could eventually measure anti-aging supplements for real. In fact, it is difficult to measure the impact of a certain molecule on your aging process, because there are plenty of cofactors, such as what kind of food you eat and your physical activities, as well as how well you sleep and more. Usually, scientists make experiments with mice in order to shorten the process. It is a well-known standard procedure, but then again, sometimes these experiments cannot be replicated. And there is always a question mark attached, because humans are not mice. It would be nice if there were a common determination for all humankind, no matter in which country you live, to what race you belong, or regardless of what food you eat and whether you are physically fit or not. Giving anyone that magical anti-aging product and its effects is proof that it works. We believe there is such a product, and we will prove it to you in a minute. There is also a measurement, just as we have described it above. But first, we want to take you on a journey to think outside the box. This is crucial, and you will see in a minute why. Isn't it, when we think about anti-aging, then we think about middle-aged to old people? We do not have 20-year-olds in our minds, nor do we think children. And here, we have to make an exception today. Sometimes we have to go 2 steps back and recalibrate to see the whole thing. Similar to the old Thai saying goes, 3 men were asked what they saw. The first saw a giant pillar, the second saw a huge barrel, and the third saw a strange musical instrument from the Swiss Alps. When the 3 men took a few steps back, it turned out that they had a very different object in front of their eyes. They stood in front of a huge elephant. So why should we think about kids all of a sudden when we think about anti-aging, you might ask yourself? All kids on the planet have one thing in common. Regardless of what they eat and how fit they are, they all have to go through puberty. Puberty is when the boy's voice becomes lower in tone and his beard starts to grow. The boy becomes a man, visible to anyone. We do not even need a blood test to see and hear that. The same goes for the girl when she develops breasts and gets her first monthly cycle. The girl becomes a woman. Nowhere at any time in our lives do we have such an incidence again. We have a change in body and soul that is made by nature and visible to everyone. In other words, these kids are getting older, and the event is called puberty. Well, if puberty is a real hallmark of aging, then anything that delays puberty could be called an anti-aging molecule. But would that not be damaging to our health, to delay puberty? On the contrary, some 30 or 40 years ago, young people had puberty around the age of 16 or 17. This has completely changed over the decades, so that we see it almost as a norm that kids come into puberty at early as 13 years old. The reason for that is a hormonal imbalance, mostly triggered through estrogen in our water supply, as well as many hormones in milk products, as well as the meat we consume. To answer this question, no. It will be even healthier to restore hormonal balance, but what could stop or delay puberty? Well, you guessed it. High doses of melatonin. We heard that from Dr. Ettinger over and over again. High doses of melatonin raises all your hormone levels. If something so powerful can delay a kid's puberty, there is no question about what it can do for an adult too. Certainly, it can delay the aging process in adults too. As many experts in the field believe, high doses of melatonin are the best anti-aging there is. And the delay in puberty is such an obvious proof. Interestingly, there is another hormone that delays puberty as well, and that is vitamin D. Both vitamin D and melatonin are important, and they protect you around the clock. While you get vitamin D at daytime when the sun shines, you get melatonin at nighttime while you sleep. They seem to work hand in hand and complement each other. This is nature's plan for a healthy and long life. A lack of any of the two, or even both, will have tremendous consequences for your health and for your life. A lack of vitamin D can cause you cancer. A lack of melatonin does exactly the same thing, and we know that when we get older, our levels decline sharply. Subscribe to the channel if you liked it. More to come. Thank you.